You see, there was a time when Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall kind of felt like the biggest super fight the UFC could have made. A once-in-a-lifetime clash, the greatest fighter of all time stepping in to prove himself against the most dangerous new-surging heavyweight on the planet. And you know, it had everything. It had legacy, stakes, and a true test of greatness. But now, we don't care anymore. The excitement's gone, the hype's died, and honestly, this ain't because of Tom Aspinall. This is because of Johnny Ball Jones. And look, I ain't angry. I'm kinda just exhausted. Exhausted by the consistent delays, tired by the empty promises, and sick and tired of watching the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world do absolutely everything except fight the one man he's supposed to. This isn't even a rivalry anymore. It's a bona fide disaster. And, let's be real right now. It's obvious who's holding it up. Because every single time this fight inches closer and closer to reality, Johnny Ball Jones somehow finds a way to either deflect, delay, or disappear. And meanwhile, Tom Aspinall is doing everything right. He's showing up, staying active, and begging for this matchup. And still, there's nothing. And you see, the longer this goes on, the more clear it becomes. Jon Jones just doesn't want it. And whether or not it's fear, if it's pride, or if it's just indifference, he's shown time and time again that this fight is not a priority to him. And at this point, even if it does happen, the spark's gone, the moment's passed, and the fire has already burnt out. And Jon Jones is the sole reason why. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can help me reach 3,000 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look, it's official. I no longer care about Johnny Ball Jones versus Tom Aspinall. The anticipation, gone. The excitement, dead. And look, I ain't just saying this out of some type of bitterness or hate toward Johnny Ball. I'm saying this because I'm exhausted. And you see, at this point in time, what even is the point of even getting excited for a fight like this when it clearly has zero substance behind it? It's obvious now that Johnny Ball Jones doesn't want this fight against Tom Aspinall. And when someone keeps showing you who they are, believe them. And I believed for a while, and I held out hope, but for every tweet and, with every sidestep and every non-response to Tom Aspinall's presence, it's become undeniable. Jon Jones isn't acting like a champion. And look, the trolling, the name-calling, the passive-aggressive digs at Tom Aspinall, it's all getting old at this point, and I don't care anymore whether or not Jon Jones is ducking or if he's running or, he's playing some type of mind games, because none of that matters. What matters now is that he is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and has refused to fight his interim heavyweight champion. And that right there, on principle, is absolutely embarrassing. He's single-handedly log-jamming the entire division and doing it without any type of shame. And look, even if Johnny does eventually come back to fight Tom, it'll never be the same. The moment's passed, the fire is out, and the question will hang in the air forever. Why did you wait 2.5 years? What were you running from? And look, let's not forget, Johnny tore his pec in November of 2023. Fair, recover, rest. But when he came back, he didn't fight Tom Aspinall. The rightful #1 contender, as well as the interim heavyweight champion holding the belt that Mr. Ball refused to unify. Instead, he chose to fight and take on a 42-year-old Stipe Miocic, who had already made it sparkling clear that this was going to be his last ride. I mean, Stipe was in real life planning his retirement and, he wasn't hungry, wasn't even active, and yet that's the guy that Johnny Turnbull decided to face. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall is at the UFC headquarters every single weekend with Dana White as well as Hunter Campbell, doing everything in his power to make this fight into a reality. Johnny, though? He's out in Thailand filming 6-week reality TV shows with Nate Diaz, of all people, and also going on unhinged Twitter tirades. The optics are absolutely disgusting, and it's a complete joke. And you see, what's worse than that is that Johnny Meat is now openly saying that he doesn't care if he gets stripped. He's saying he's done. And, he's also saying that he's unbothered, as if this championship means absolutely nothing to him. And, this comes just as I started to believe again, that maybe, just maybe, the UFC would finally put their foot down and do the right thing. But let's be honest, ever since Tom Aspinall became a threat, Johnny Turnbull Jones has not acted like a fighter. His words haven't matched his body language, and his behavior has become, sort of erratic and completely out of character. He's made this entire process of simply making this fight happen way harder than it ever needed to be. And, what makes this even worse is just how transparent this all is. I mean, he can't even hide it anymore, but at the same time, I don't think he ever really wanted to hide it in the first place. Because you see, Johnny's on social media consistently, posting spiritual quotes 1 second and then replying to random fans the next. He's basically just obsessing over every single comment that mentions Tom Aspinall. And if he truly didn't care, then he wouldn't be lurking on X like some deranged high school kid scrolling through drama. And, don't tell me this is strategy, and don't tell me this is some type of fight promotion, because this isn't build-up. It's straight up deflection. And this is what you call stalling. This is a legendary fighter who doesn't want to risk losing his aura to some younger, faster, more dangerous man. And you know what? It's completely fine. Because if Jon Jones doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, then don't fight him. But please, for the sake of not only this sport, but the 265ers as well, relinquish that belt. Don't hold a division hostage because your ego is too big to admit that someone else might beat you. And you know what? It's kind of funny because Jon Jones calls himself the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And, maybe in terms of accomplishments and accolades, he is. I mean, regardless of personal opinion, he is Jon Jones. But, the part of being great is, doing what's right for the sport. And right now, Jon Jones is the biggest obstacle of the health of the heavyweight division as a whole. And, he's not even defending his belt. He's not even negotiating in good faith. And he's not even giving to charity. All he's doing is tweeting. And, meanwhile, Tom Aspinall is staying active, training nonstop, showing up and showing out, and in every single interview and in every single interaction with the UFC, everything that Tom Aspinall has done has screamed, "I'm ready, let's go." And still, nothing. But look, I don't even know what to say anymore. But y'all already know what's gonna come out of my mouth. Strip Jon Jones. And, look, if this was anyone else, they'd be stripped in a heartbeat. Leon Edwards lost his ranking during COVID-19 because of inactivity. Even Tony Ferguson got skipped over for title shots because of inactivity as well as timing. But Jon Jones? The UFC continues to hold him up as if he's untouchable. And, look, as much as I do want to see him get beat, to watch his ego finally crumble in front of the world, I want something else even more. I want him gone. I want the UFC heavyweight division to move forward, and I want a real champion to fight. And look, don't get it twisted, because this ain't just about Johnny. This is about the precedent the UFC is setting. Like, you're telling me that it's okay for our undisputed heavyweight champion of the world to be gone for nearly 3 whole years and not even try to attempt to unify the belts? Like, that's absolutely insane. That's literally how divisions die. And that's exactly how contenders get lost in limbo. Like, for instance, Sergey Pavlovich has been stalled. Jelton Nyquil Almeida has been stalled as well. Now Tom Aspinall is also being stalled. All because the UFC is just too scared to take the belt away from a guy who doesn't even want it anymore. And if this continues, then we're looking at a heavyweight division that is built upon fake promises, social media bait, and not actual competition. But realistically, Johnny Turinaball's value as a fighter is just simply not worth the damage that he's doing to the heavyweight division. It's not worth the silence, it's not worth the delays, and it ain't for sure worth sacrificing great matchups as well as the integrity of the sport as a whole just to protect one name. And I truly do believe that the UFC are valuing Jon Jones way too highly. I mean, he's not irreplaceable. Strip him. Move on and let Tom Aspinall reign as the real, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Let the best fight the best. Johnny Turinaball's online every single day acting like he doesn't care about his championship, yet is replying to every single fan who mentions Tom's name. Like, he says he's unbothered, yet he can't stop talking. Jon Jones is the biggest clown in MMA right now, and I say that with no joy, honestly. It's just straight facts. And if Johnny Turinaball came out tomorrow and said, I'm done and I'm not fighting anymore, the MMA world wouldn't flinch. We'd move on and we'd be far more interested in who Tom Aspinall is fighting next than whatever Johnny Turinaball is doing on Twitter or X, if you want to call it that. And that says it all. The magic's gone, the desire's gone, and I'm done waiting. And if the UFC really wants the division to move forward, they should be done waiting as well. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know in the comment section below what are your guys' thoughts on the next moves going forward or moving forward when talking about the Johnny Turinaball Jones versus Tom Aspinall debacle and drama. When do you think these guys are going to fight, if they are going to fight? Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.